Bike sizing is one of the most crucial parts of buying an electric bike. Improperly sized bikes can lead to inconvenience, discomfort, and even injury. And the worst part about riding a bike that's the wrong size is that it's just not any fun. Today, we're going to be talking about electric bike sizing, specifically for those of you who are looking to buy bikes online. We'll be breaking up the video into two categories, electric mountain bikes and leisure commuting bikes, so feel free to skip to which genre of bike you're looking to buy, and it's also broken up by height, you can see in the chapters below. Now this sizing guide I'm about to provide is going to work probably 95% of the time, but there are some brand-specific sizing considerations to take into account. But if you're a discerning buyer and you've been watching channels like this one, you probably know which those brands are, which brands run a little bit smaller and which brands run a little bit bigger. So get out there and do some research on the specific bike you're looking for, as well as watching this sizing guide when you're making your decision. Let's get into it. There are two measurements that you want to know for sure while looking for an electric bike, and that is going to be your height and your inseam. Your height you probably know off the top of your head already, but never hurts to check just to make sure. You can quickly get your inseam by popping on the type of shoes that you are going to be riding in, standing with your legs about hip width apart, about the position your legs would be in if you were standing over a bike, and then measuring yourself from crotch to carpet, as I like to say, straight down the middle. You want to be able to stand over that bike comfortably, but keep in mind, once you become a more confident rider, and you will become a more confident rider with time if you're not already, most of the time you're standing on one foot with the bike off to the side, so it's not going to be completely straight up and down. So if your inseam matches the standover height of the electric bike you're looking at, don't be worried. The standover is not the be-all end-all, but you do want that standover height to be similar to your inseam. We'll start off with electric mountain bikes for riders who are sub 5 foot. Unfortunately, there are no full suspension electric mountain bikes that we would recommend at this time, but there are some great hardtail options for you. If you are under 5 foot looking for a hardtail electric mountain bike, you should be looking for a frame that's designated as extra small or in the 13.5 inch range. And for more advanced riders, you could go up to 15 inches. If you're looking in centimeters, that's going to be about 34 to 38 centimeters ideally. Sub foot 5 riders should always be looking for low step, step through, or trapeze frames options so that you can more easily get on and off the bike. Stepping up to electric mountain bikes for riders who are 5 foot to 5 foot 5 inches, you do have a couple more options. When looking for full suspension electric mountain bikes, you should be looking for extra small frames or frames that are designated as a women's small. You will of course frequently see electric mountain bikes listed in centimeters, so you're ideally looking for a frame that's between 35 and 40 centimeters, with 38 centimeters being the most frequent frame size you will probably see. On a hardtail electric mountain bike, you will still be looking for an extra small or small frame. If you see frames that are step-through, trapeze, or low step, those are great options to look for in a hardtail as well. You might also see these designated between 13.5 inch and 15 inch frames. Riders who are 5 foot 5 inches to 5 foot 8 inches do have significantly more options in full suspension electric mountain bikes. Riders of this height should be looking for full suspension electric mountain bikes that are size small. This might also be listed as 38 to 42 centimeters, somewhere in that range, or around a 15 inch frame. If you're on the upper end of this range and you have an inseam that's a bit longer, somewhere in the 30 inch to 32 inch range, you might consider bumping up to a medium-sized electric mountain bike or a 17 inch frame. Sometimes you'll see these as big as 45 centimeter frames as well. This would be on the bigger end for this height range, so make sure you are a solid 5 foot 8 if you're looking at this size. If you're 5 foot 5 to 5 foot 8 and looking for a hardtail electric mountain bike, you should be able to fit a 15 inch to a 17 inch bike. These will either be listed as smalls or mediums. If you are on the lower end, so closer to 5 foot 5 inches, and you're looking at a 17 inch hardtail mountain bike, we would recommend sticking to trapeze frames, step-through frames, or low-step frames. Riders who are 5 foot 8 to 5 foot 10 are right in the money in terms of how most electric mountain bikes are sized, so you shouldn't have a problem finding a great full suspension electric mountain bike. If you are this height, you should be shooting for eMTBs that are medium sized. This is mostly true for full suspension and hardtail eMTBs. For hardtail eMTBs, you might be able to sneak up to a large if you are more on the 5'10" side of things, but probably you still want to be sticking with mediums. Mediums will frequently be listed as 17 inches, between 42 and 46 centimeters, and of course, medium. If you're looking at a brand that tends to run small, like Cube, you could potentially push your way into a large, especially if you're doing all mountain riding. But again, we really recommend sticking with mediums for the most part. Moving into riders who are between 5'10" and 6'2" inches, you are also in luck because, like the previous height range, there are a lot of options for full suspension eMTBs. You should be looking at full suspension eMTBs that are sized large. The only situation in which you might want to bump up to an extra large bike is if you have a particularly large inseam. I'm talking more like 34 inches plus. So if you've got really long legs, then you might want to be shooting for something a little bit bigger. But for the most part, most mountain bikes that are designated large are going to be your go-to. So be looking for 19-inch frames or between 46 and 49 centimeters. Sometimes you'll see a large listed as a 50 centimeter in a hardtail, but for the most part, it's going to be in that 46 to 49 centimeter range. Like with most of the other height ranges, if you're looking at a hardtail, you do sometimes have an opportunity to bump up to an extra large. But if you're going to do that, make sure to look at those reach measurements and also those standover measurements. Finally, riders who are 6'3" plus and looking for electric mountain bikes, it's a pretty easy call. You should be going for extra large bikes, whether you're looking at a full suspension mountain bike or a hardtail eMTB. This extra large designation is usually going to be a 22-inch frame or something that's 52 centimeters plus. Sizing on commuter and leisure electric bikes is especially important because if you're commuting on it, you're going to be on that bike a lot, and if you're looking for leisure riding, well, you want it to be leisurely. You want it to be sized properly. Riders who are 5 foot to 5'5" should be sticking to a size small in commuter and leisure bikes. For commuter bikes, this is usually going to be a bike that is between 44 centimeters and 46 centimeters in frame size. Or if you're looking for more of a beach cruiser style bike, look for a bike that's between 42 centimeters and 45 centimeters in frame size. If you're on the lower end of this range, you could definitely fit on an extra small commuting bike as well. And since you are in the shorter category of riders, this is also a great opportunity to look for a low step bike, wave frame, or step through. These might also be called trapeze frames. If you are between 5'5" and 5'8" looking for a commuter or leisure bike, most of the time you are going to be looking for a small frame. So a frame that says small or is between 44 and 46 centimeters. If you are a solid 5'8", there are some brands that run a little bit bigger and you might want to bump up to a medium, but for the most part, riders in this range are going to stick to that small designation. For reference, the medium size though will be about 45 centimeters to 50 centimeters generally speaking. Riders who are 5'8" to 5'10" and looking for a commuter or leisure ride are mostly going to be sticking to medium-sized electric bikes. Like with riders of other heights, if you are a solid 5'10", and I'm talking not really 5'9", but you say 5'10" on the driver's license, but actually 5'10", you could potentially go up to a large in some brands, but you really want to check, again, that reach and also that standover height against your inseam if you're going to go for a large commuting bike. You just want to make sure that if you're standing at a stoplight, you can still stand over that bike comfortably. So go to the large if you are sure you're 5'10" and the brand runs a little bit smaller. Commuter and leisure electric bike riders who are 5'10" to 6'2" should be looking at large size commuting and leisure bikes. Large road bikes will usually be around 56 to 60 centimeters. Beach cruisers might be more around 54 centimeters to 57 centimeters. This is another situation where if you are on the upper side of this range, so 6'1" or 6'2", in some manufacturers you could bump up to that extra large frame designation, but again, make sure you check your inseam and the standover height of the bike. As you probably have guessed, if you are 6'3" or over, you are going to go with an extra large commuter or leisure electric bike. Generally speaking, these bikes are going to be listed at 60 to 64 centimeters if they're a road bike, And if it's a beach cruiser, it's going to be somewhere around 56 centimeters to 57 centimeters. Basically, at this height, you should look for the biggest size you can and go with that. So that is going to be our general sizing guide for both electric mountain bikes and commuter leisure bikes. Again, this should work for 90 to 95% of situations, but make sure you're doing your research on the specific bike you are interested in as well to see if it runs a little small, runs a little bit big, or just has any other weird quirks that you need to know about. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the Fly Rides Electric Bike channel. Leave a comment below if you have any questions on bike sizing, and we'll try to get it answered for you. And until next time, enjoy the ride.